Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. So stupid. Yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel. Home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs, as long as TikTok gives us our account back that they're holding hostage. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name is Ben. I am joined by your co-host, Jay Chains, today. TJ is on vacation, which can't wait for him to tell his little story about his little vacation. I don't want to give it away. I'll let him tell it tomorrow. I don't know what he wants people to know and not to know. So, pretty sketchy stuff. But guys, it is 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Technically, it's 10:31. It is Monday, March 21st. It is 75 degrees. It feels like that it's the month has gone by so fast. Does it not feel that way? It's already almost the end of March.
In Q1 2022, almost over.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's right. I wonder, it's interesting. I haven't thought about that. I wonder what kind of action we'll see at the end of the month. We may actually see, because everybody's been so bearish, we may actually see the chart rocket up at the end of the month for the quarter close.
I'm just saying, man, I've been calling it for months now. April's going to be a big month. I feel it in my bones.
Bing bong.
Yep.
Bing bong. God, people are already asking for Frank. My gosh. Guys, we fired Frank. Frank sucks. We don't like him anymore. So
his TA wasn't working out.
I was on TikTok this morning and I was scrolling through and I saw somebody like made this TikTok video. It was like real silly. It was like, resisting the urge to say bing bong every like 30 seconds. And then I noticed in their little, like, is this new thing on TikTok where it shows you who people follow? They're like, follow his Frankie Candles. Follow his Meta Money. Does not follow BitBoy Crypto. Listen here, you mother chucker. You better hit that follow button. Okay, guys. What about that NCAA tournament? I picked Auburn to win. They got knocked out last night. I'm done. Did you do it? Did you do a bracket?
No, man. You know my history with the tournament and all that.
That's right. I forgot.
I did watch a lot of games. I was in West Palm, Florida with my family, and we did watch a lot of games, which is more than I normally watch because I hate college basketball.
Yeah. College basketball is lame to me now. I'm just going to be honest. I guess at this point, I'm pulling for Duke. I mean, Coach K, whatever. Just send him out. Be done with him. I always kind of liked Duke, going back to the Christian Laettner days before everybody was on the Duke bandwagon. But I just, college basketball sucks today. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not saying there aren't good players out there, but the one and done stuff has absolutely destroyed college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's destroyed it. There's no team that you're watching that you know a single player. Because as soon as you know a player and he's popular, he's going to the NBA. So, and he's going to get drafted in the second round. And if you've ever looked at the NBA at the top second round draft picks of all time, there's very few good ones out there. I think Draymond Green maybe been a second round. Michael Redd was a second round. Maybe Steve Nash was a second rounder. But not a long. Basically, if you're not a first rounder, you're not really making it for the most part. So, how can I if I'm on a smart TV? Everybody stop what you're doing. We'll just go ahead and do this announcement right now. Stop what you're doing. Smash that like button for us. Let's get some more people in here watching the show. If you're watching on mobile, X out of the live chat, hit the like button and then hit the live chat icon to come back, okay? And if you're watching on a smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, it'll say more actions or more options. It'll say react. Once you click that, then you hit like, and then you are good. So, but Jokic was a second rounder. Okay, that's good. But not a lot of good second rounders in the history of the NBA. And I'm hoping that through the NIL stuff, some stuff we're doing with the Players Lounge actually, for college football, I'm hoping that'll carry over to college basketball and we'll get some more players staying in. It's why I like watching Wichita State a few years ago. It was so fun because they actually had the same players for a few years. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about basketball. All right, guys, market, very interesting. Let's go ahead and get started, but I want to show you guys something here. First of all, on YouTube, 1.44 million. We lost like 200 subscribers last week, so we did drop back down. Why is that? Well, nobody's searching for crypto anymore on the interwebs. And if you come down here, you see all of our different channels. J-Chain's actually the host of MetaMoney. You guys have been growing pretty good over there.
It's been, I mean, I'll tell you what, we've had a big 6 weeks.
That is awesome.
It's
So
been great.
glad to hear it. So make sure you hit up MetaMoney. Don't forget to hit up Frankie Candles, the BitBoy Bits channel, stuff like that. I want to show you guys something on Twitter because I got a beef to pick with Vladimir Putin. Can I do this briefly here?
Yeah.
Where are you at on Vladimir Putin?
Oh man. Well, he's kind of an interesting character. I think my mind has changed when you're hearing some of this narrative. I mean, he's been telling Ukraine and NATO for what, 15 years, don't do it, don't invade, don't do it, and they did it.
It is one of these things where
Or not invade Ukraine. It was don't join NATO or whatever.
Don't join NATO. I want to show you guys something that's pretty interesting here. Oh, this tweet is from a suspended account. Oh,
Ooh.
they suspended this girl's account. Wow, that's so bizarre. Basically, I don't want to get into that here on the show. But this is, I want to show you guys something that happened yesterday. So I was on one of my videos and I was looking at the comments. This is on a video where I talked about Russia and Ukraine. Okay. I think when it boils down to this, like 80% of the comments on this video that I posted on Facebook, which we don't really show Facebook on here, but we post on Facebook, 80% of the comments were pro-Russia. Bro, how if you went out on the street right now, Justin, and started asking people, how many people out of 100 do you think here in even where we live here in the Atlanta area, how many people do you think would say that they're pro-Russian invasion?
Well, I think 0 people would say that.
Right.
But I don't think that they
maybe 2 or 3, like maybe super alt-right people, maybe something like that. Maybe.
But I don't think people are as informed as they should be on the full scope of the entire situation.
Right. The vast majority of people do not want Russia invading Ukraine. However, when I went down on the comments, 80% of the comments were pro-Russia. Can the West be trusted? No, the West must fall. Can NATO be trusted? 3/4 of the world population support Russia. USA is a small part of it. Can we trust America? Guys, this is literally Russian propaganda and bots on my Facebook page. So Vladimir Putin, F you. Stay off of my Facebook page. You look here, you see this guy, David Da Silva. And look, here's, how many guys do you know have their profile picture as their wife and their baby?
Not too many.
Maybe with them in it. These are all fake accounts. This is literally what was going on during the 2016 election. Look, I'm not a Russian collusion guy at all, okay? What I am telling you is they were putting out, this is proven, massive propaganda campaigns at that point, really feeding into both sides of what was happening during that election. Be careful what you're seeing out there on social media, because there's a great chance anything out there that you are seeing that is pro-Russia is absolutely bots and propaganda. They have entire farms filled with computers running this type of stuff. So you got to be really careful what you're seeing right now. I'm not saying America's totally innocent in any of this. I'm not saying that Russia is 100% the villain here. I'm 95%. I don't know what they are. But I mean, I would say definitely most people consider them the villain. But when you're seeing comments that are like this, that are so pro-Russia, this is all coming from them. So you got to keep in mind right now what you're seeing. So I don't trust NATO either. I want you guys to understand that. I don't trust NATO. But the fact that people are going into this specific video, when we've done other videos on Russia and Ukraine that we put out, and it did not get these responses. This one was targeted by their bots to go in, and that's just 4 or 5 comments. There's like 20 or 30 of them at least, maybe even 100 by now. I'm not sure how many are on it. So I got to change my profile picture with my wife. They say that if a man is making his kids his profile picture and a woman is posting, who's married, is posting selfies, that they're going through a divorce.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say when people are going through a divorce, the man will post pictures of his kids' as profile picture, and the wife will start posting selfies.
Is that to
on the market, I guess.
I don't understand the psychology behind it, other than to make yourself look like a better person.
Yeah. So you see this guy up there, he says, anyone, I want you to understand this. when we talk about Russia and Ukraine on this channel, anyone that tells us to stick to crypto and not politics, they're a bot or they're propaganda, period. This is not politics. This is not a Republican Democrat issue. This is not an American issue. This is an invasion of another country where thousands of civilians have been murdered. No one is for that. No one is for that. That is not a controversial political opinion. I'm not telling you I think abortion is wrong. Okay? I'm not telling you we don't want same-sex marriage. Those are controversial opinions. This is not a controversial opinion. Russia should not invade Ukraine. It's not political. So the people that come in that are saying that, those are Russian bots. And notice all of their profile pictures are simply letters and they have very generic names. So you got to be careful about these people. They've done piss me off, to be honest with you. And so I'm now full-fledged ready to go after this Russian propaganda. So if you want to make an enemy, guess what? You've done it. I got a really big mouth. All right. Bitboy Crypto, don't forget to follow us here. 445,000 people on Instagram. Of course, here is my personal one. I took a picture with me and my daughter. We went out, had some hibachi last night. I made some good memes over the weekend that I sent to my wife for this picture right here. Do you like that one?
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
He will not let him in. It was really fun. Okay, let's get into crypto. $1.875 trillion. Gut feeling, J Chains. I want to know right now. Gut feeling. Are we going up or down?
Up.
You believe that?
Yeah, I mean, we may go down in the short term, but again, I think April is going to be a big month for us. I really do. I've been feeling that way for a while. I'm ready.
Me too.
I love it.
My gut feeling is we're going up as well. That's my gut feeling, to be honest with you.
I think we already bottomed, right? Like you would have seen it go down a lot more. It wouldn't have held the support like it did. And we're going to range. It's going to be choppy, but I think overall we're going up.
Yeah. I think this shirt is J. Crew, people. I think it is. Somebody asked me about the shirt. 24-hour volume, $92 billion. Bitcoin dominance, 41.6. The fact that this is going down and the overall market cap is going up, that to me is very bullish. And look at the gas. Almost nothing. 16 Paraguays. All right, moving on here. Looking at Bitcoin coming in at 41.2. It did drop. It was over 42. It was at like 42.4, 42.5. Somewhere like that. Ethereum right at $3,000, very close to it. Tether, blah, 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 blah. Binance Coin, almost at 400. That's a very bullish number for BNB. XRP is coming in 81 cents. Predicted it would be 81 cents by the end of the month. And look at that. Terra Luna up for the week. Cardano up for the week. Back at 90 cents. How about that? Solana up 10%. For the week. Avalanche up 31% for the week. Somebody posed a really interesting question. I want to get your thoughts on this. Out of these three coins, which one do you think is going to have the biggest year? Avalanche, Solana, or Terra Luna?
Cool, man.
I saw a tag. It's the first time I've worn this shirt. I felt like there should have been a tag in it, and there wasn't. So I'm like itching from a tag here.
Thanks for giving me a few extra seconds to think.
I'm here for
man, I think Solana is going to do a really good job. You can make a case for any one of them. I think Solana, even though it's got a really centralized nature to it, what they do is they're really good at marketing. They're really good at getting people behind them. I think Solana is going to do pretty well. Doesn't mean that the others are not. That's just the first kind of take.
So Terra Luna to me has already had like a massive rip, a massive run. I think out of those three, I'm taking Avalanche, to be honest with you, for the year. I'm probably taking Avalanche really because Luna has ripped so hard. It's hard and Solana ripped so hard before Avalanche.
Yeah.
It feels like to me, Avalanche, it's up 30% right now, so it's also been ripping hard this week. But I think this could just be the beginning of Avalanche's run. So look at ApeCoin up 1,000% for the week. And if somebody was asking me about Ethereum Classic, still garbage, guys, still trash. I see some people in there talking about, oh, it's a very secure network. Guys, no one's ever going to build on Ethereum Classic. No. Give up the dream. If you want a meme coin that's not actually a meme coin, the digital currency group loves to pump, then hey, jump in Ethereum Classic and, it'll probably go up. But Ethereum Classic is not in our portfolio. So.
Yeah, I'm not even sure why it's still around.
Yeah. I don't know either, to be honest with you. Well, there's too much money in it, to leave it alone. So, all right, Let's bring Frank up. Well, actually, you know what? Before we bring Frank up, let's take a look at some price stories here, and then we'll get in. Then we'll have Frank come up. Bitcoin fails at 42K. It just feels like we've been reading stories about 42K, 40K every single week. I think Ethereum Classic surging. I do think that says something about the market, to be honest with you. So I think that basically the long and the short of it is that Ethereum Classic can be a sign of the market getting ready to move. Because here's what Digital Currency Group does, okay? Digital Currency Group used the Ethereum Trust Classic to pump the price, to create profit, to invest in more profitable coins. It's kind of what is that? It's not Daedalus. Ouroboros. Do you know what an Ouroboros is?
No.
Something in Cardano. I think it was one of their, I can't remember exactly what it is.
You probably need BJ for that.
What is it, BJ? I know what it is, but what is it for Cardano? Yeah, it's a consensus network, I believe, for Cardano. Yeah. So Ouroboros, what it is it's like a snake eating itself. You know, it's like kind of like an infinity symbol. Oh, BJ's like, you got a tattoo? Yeah, he's got a tattoo. It's a snake eating itself. That's kind of what Ethereum Classic is. It's like Digital Currency Group just using it, just using it as a pure price pump to be able to eventually pull the money out and spend it other places. That's the way I look at it. So, Bitcoin MACD signal flips bullish for first time in 17 weeks. That's very bullish. No more 4-year cycles. So people are starting to believe that this is not true, by the way, guys. I don't care what people say. We are still going to see 4-year cycles. They may not all be identical. That's the point. You can't change the Bitcoin halving. That is the number one catalyst for the price of Bitcoin. Okay, number one catalyst by a long shot. Halving the production, cutting the production in two. 900 Bitcoin being mined per day now, 450 mined per day starting in 2024, about April of 2024. You can't change that. It's going to affect the price. There's always going to be a supply shock for the miners. Will all the cycles look the same? No, they won't all look the same. And then billionaire Chamath Palihapitiya unveils market forecast, says stocks and crypto assets are in the midst of a melt up. I did want to cover this because a lot of people are pointing and saying, hopefully this could be what we're going to see is this melt up. Let me find exactly where he mentions that melt up here. Melt up.
Is a melt up like melt your face? It's going to be awesome. The opposite of a meltdown.
Yes, I think that's kind of the idea. I think that we're in the midst of what I would call a melt up. So probably in the next month and a half, there really isn't much bad news that hasn't been priced in. The thing I've learned over the past, thank you for that super chat, Devin Ramsey, over the past few years is that markets don't actually care what the news is. They can process good news and bad news equally as well. What they despise is the uncertainty of what news could be. So this week was really important because we had two huge buckets of uncertainty taken out of the market. The one we've already talked about is when the market saw that there was a surface area of a deal between Ukraine and Russia. Second thing was Jerome Powell raising the interest rates. Of course, we've talked thoroughly about that. And don't forget to go to our channel and check out this video right here. Fed rate hike. No, that is not it. Was that it? Fed rate hike? Yeah, we changed the title on it. We changed the title on it. That is right. Why the Fed rate hike will stop inflation. You got to go check out this video. It is a very, very, very good video that explains why you should not be worried about the Fed rate hike like a lot of people thought that you should.
I loved your set background on that video, by the way.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was almost like I was in another universe. So anyways, he expects equity and crypto markets across the board to move higher unless Russia deploys a low probability chemical or nuclear attack. Retail is not a good signal of things, yada, yada, yada. So anyways, guys, that's what people are thinking. We might be seeing something, something really massive when it comes to, this melt up, so to speak. So, all right, come on in, Frankie.
We need like a intro music, like we just walk up.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday, right? Happy Monday. So we got a lot of good stuff to look at today on the weekly chart. I know we look at it all the time. It's been looking the same, been looking horrible, but finally, let's just jump right into it. Start on the weekly here. Finally, we got something going on here. Now, it is starting to look a little bit different, than 2018. Because, if you watch the channel, you will know that we compared a lot to the 2018 bear market. It looks, money flow looks very similar. And it looks inevitable that it was going to play out the same. But if we just zoom in a little bit here, you will see that the VWAP has comfortably come over the zero line here. We no longer have a red dot on the momentum wave, and you can even see money flow starting to find support on the zero line and start to work its way back up. So definitely looking much better than it has been. Maybe we see it play out a little different than 2018. I think it's likely that it wouldn't play out exactly the same. So not too surprised to see something play out here. But that money flow coming up a little bit, plus the VWAP being comfortably over that zero line, it's a little more decisive than in the past. In the recent past, we've had it kind of just tap down, tap above, come back below. But now we're finally a good bit above it.
Frank? How high is this thing going? Are we gonna rip $250,000?
Hey, I hope so. But
You know what I'm looking at here, Frank? I'm just looking here at the chart, and I'm looking at the last time that the money flow was green, hit the zero line, a little bit under on the VWAP, and came back up. And then look at the massive parabolic run. What percentage gain is that from there?
this is, when we came back here, if you want
And I think this is what people are talking about when they say we're seeing a full reset on the crypto market. I think this is kind of what they're talking about. What is that gain?
This is 610%.
Let's can we apply that to today?
Yes.
And see
where that brings us.
610%. I mean, if my math is correct on that, that should be about $250,000.
Oh wow, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, you're gonna have to way zoom down. That should be about $250,000, I believe.
610. That's 618, and that is about 296.
296, 300K.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, the thing is, Rank, is, we were looking at, Bitcoin going to 100K. We were using a lot of information from Mr. X on where things should have been going at the end of the year. It didn't play out the way we were told, the way we thought it would play out. But, one of the things that he said is he didn't believe that this thing would be going over 100K for all of these different reasons. I mean, now that other stuff he said didn't pan out, I mean, I think it's totally reasonable to think that maybe we will see it go that high. And if we're getting a full reset here, this could be what sends us there. I know if you look at Benjamin Cowan's, his lengthening cycles chart, this one's so much different than everyone we've seen before. And if that's correct, then, we could certainly have one last big parabolic move.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is crazy to see, when, obviously this was the beginning of a cycle, but yeah, when the money flow found the support here on the zero line, that's a big move. So I was really hoping, right? Because this was looking very similar to the 2018 bear market. I was hoping that we would eventually see something different. Started to lose hope a little bit, but now we are seeing it. So that's definitely a good sign for sure. So let's go ahead and move on down to the daily, right? Kind of the same thing going on, guys. We are still in this symmetrical triangle, unbelievable. But I did, we do have this golden pocket up here. We finally broke out of it a bit. If we come down here to the 4 hour, just zoom in a little bit, I did catch a short position after we broke out through the symmetrical triangle. We came up and tested this golden pocket. I shorted from here to here. I'm actually still in the trade. Your stop loss is in profit. But yeah, kind of the same idea, guys. We got to get out of this ascending triangle. Hopefully we can find some support on top of this top line on the symmetrical triangle to bounce up higher, break through that golden pocket. But, all in all, guys, this 44 to 45K range right here is really what we need to get past for me to get excited, to think that we could possibly see some higher price action or higher price targets for Bitcoin. If we do break that, obviously, if you guys watch the channel, you will know that our targets are at about 55K if we break up. And then if we do happen to break down, remembering that this pattern that we are on is typically a bearish continuation pattern, right? So typically these break out to the downside. Doesn't mean it's going to, but if we do break out to the downside, we have a golden pocket here at about 28K. So 28K on the low end, 55K if we break up. It's kind of the same thing we've been looking at, for what seems like forever here. But looking pretty good. We actually did just get a little pop on Ethereum coming in at about 29.50. Nothing too crazy. We did just get a little pump. But let's just real quick, before I hop off here, keeping an eye on the DXY or the US dollar index. We are hugging this, the top of the golden pocket here, hopefully we can break down here. Again, we need to come down on the DXY to hopefully see some upside for Bitcoin. And then coming over here to check the SPY, still showing good strength on the SPY, breaking out of this downtrend with, you know, some good gusto. So this is good. Keeping an eye on this. The better this does, you know, the stock market has been tied to Bitcoin in the recent past. So seeing strength over here is definitely a good thing as well. So we need weakness on the DXY, strength on the SPY, and hopefully we can get some higher prices for Bitcoin. And I think that's all I got for you. I'm gonna hit you with a bing bong before Ben gets me out of here.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Thank you, Frank.
It's almost too bullish, Frankie. It's almost too bullish, guys, to be honest with you. Tell you what, do y'all like Frank? If y'all like Frank, show him some love in the chat. Go ahead and hit that like button. I know you guys love Frank. I see it. For the first time I sat there today watching the comments, I was like, do they like Frank more than me? Like, is this going to turn into a beef between me and Frank because he steals all my people? He does a great job, though. We love Frank. And just so y'all know, Frank, I know we make fun of him a lot and joke around and say we keep him in a cage. Frank is like the nicest, greatest human you've ever met. So we love Frank. So glad he got so good at TA. Golly, so amazing. Okay, let me pull this up here. Okay, here we go. Boom. Bing bong. All right. Let's move on here. Michael Saylor. Guys, do y'all love when they show this picture of Michael Saylor?
Who dat?
Who is that? Who dat? That is Michael Saylor from 1982. Michael Saylor calls Bitcoin the American dream. We love Michael Saylor. I'm just kidding. Last week, Michael Saylor, co-founder, chairman, and CEO of NASDAQ-listed business intelligence company MicroStrategy, explained why he thinks Bitcoin is the best store of value. He said, our decision to invest in Bitcoin at this time was driven in part by a confluence of macro factors affecting the economic and business landscape that we believe is creating long-term risks for our corporate treasury program, risks that should be addressed proactively. Since then, MicroStrategy has continued to accumulate Bitcoin, and CEO has become one of Bitcoin's most vocal advocates. His latest Bitcoin purchase was on February 1st. I bet we'll find out he's made another recent purchase, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely.
MicroStrategy's latest Bitcoin purchase was on February 1st, hodling around 125,000 Bitcoin. So been a little bit of time since they have bought one, but he explained why it should not be called a commodity. He says, it's magical because there's only 21 million. I can create more real estate in New York City. I can create more cars, more luxury watches, create more gold. I can create more shares of stock. I can create more bonds. I can create any commodity. They're commodities by definition. Given enough money and time, I can create infinite of any of them. Bitcoin is a scarcity, okay? Name another scarcity in the world. Let's see, yada, yada, yada. According to a report by Bloomberg, speaking to members of the Economic Club of New York, he talked about the advantages of Bitcoin over other popular stores of value. He does not like gold because it cannot be developed or rented, unlike real estate. Real estate is a better idea than gold, he says. He points out it has its own limitations, namely that it is not always liquid. If your property is not safe out of your country and is not safe in your country, where can you go? The answer is cyberspace. And that brings up like just such an interesting idea of, you know, cyberspace, metaverse. I know you're in the metaverse, Jay.
Love it. I live in the metaverse.
You live in the metaverse.
Yep.
You do. Are you in the metaverse right now?
I could be.
You could be.
I am of the firm believer, and I heard Raul Paul say this thing in an interview that he was doing, is that we basically already are living in the metaverse. I mean, these people watching us right now, they're not in the studio. They're not visually here. They're not watching us. They're watching a digital representation of us. When you talk to somebody on the phone, it's a digital representation of your voice. Technically, we kind of already are there.
Yeah. I've said that for a long time. I mean, really, you know, people say, hey, we're not ever going to be living in a digital world. Like, how much are you glued to your phone? You're already in a digital world.
Right.
You know, so that's certainly what we see. But I think that, you know, Michael Saylor makes a lot of great points here. But ultimately, this guy is extremely bullish on Bitcoin. But you always have to keep in mind he owns a lot of Bitcoin. So, you know, you got to sometimes take some of this stuff with a grain of salt too. I mean, obviously, I believe that he believes everything he's saying. But, you know, he does have a lot of stake in this game. He's the number one holder of Bitcoin outside of Grayscale and, you know, some very big whales that have had Bitcoin forever. But it is what it is. And speaking of Bitcoin maxis, by the way, even though I don't technically consider him to be a maximalist, you heard about old Peter McCormick quitting Twitter.
Peter McCormick
quitting Twitter.
Why would he do that?
I will show you why. I think this was the last straw here. It was this. I mean, it's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing at this. An example of why I'm quitting Twitter. This is my mother. She was an amazing person, dedicated her life to others, working for a charity, helping the poor find housing and basic needs. Retrained as a nurse in her 40s, battled cancer like a boss. And then this guy said, everyone's glad she's dead.
Oh, man.
My gosh. Guys, people tell me to kill myself on social media all the time. Like, it is brutal out there. And a lot of people are not cut out for it. And I'll be honest with you, like, this is kind of what I said in this tweet here. I do want to address this because this is relevant to, kind of what I see in my life. I will just say this. I like Peter McCormick. He's one of the extremely few Bitcoin maximies that I genuinely like. Of course, Brecky. We go way back with Brecky. And, of course, Gary Leland. Love Gary Leland. But this is not the first time he has quit Twitter. Everdome video will be Saturday. He'll be back. You just have to understand arguing with people is pointless on here. So you got to understand there are different people that exist out there. You have people that are extremely sensitive and they cannot take a shot. They can't take an arrow to the back or else they will bleed out. I encountered someone a couple weeks ago that had a troll on social media and was like really complaining about it. And I was just sitting there like, yeah, one troll. One troll on social media must be really nice, Some people just aren't cut out for it. But there's another type of person out there who's also not cut out to be on Twitter. And Peter McCormick, now you can grow into a different type of person than this, but Peter McCormick fits this definition. They just can't stop arguing with people. Like, you just can't stop arguing with people on Twitter. I'm not going to waste my time on Twitter arguing with people. I may come in and I may flame somebody, and then I'm leaving Twitter for the rest of the day. I'm not going to stay on there and get involved in a dialogue with some anonymous cartoon account that means literally nothing to me. But yet, I'll be honest with you, if someone posted that, now, my mother's still around, but if my mother had died and somebody posted that about my mother, it wouldn't bother me a lick. Because you have to understand the hurt and pain that's coming from that person's life to be able to say or do something like that. Their parents probably don't love them. That's probably something that they've gone through there, is not having a parent. And that's why they can so selfishly just say, I hope you're, glad your mom's dead or something like that. These are terrible people. And when you really wrap your mind around the fact that so many people on social media, they're just bad people and they want to hurt you, then there's a lot of freedom in that. It doesn't bother me. I mean, somebody posted some crazy stuff about, some people in my family at one point. It means nothing to me. You can't hurt me. You can't hurt me on social media. I'm sorry. You can piss me off enough to where I may respond every blue moon, but that's it. And I do think that, there is, a certain side of it that's just, you just can't waste your time. You got to know when to move on. So I certainly hope Peter comes back. And I hope he comes back. I think he will come back, but just, it's pointless to argue with people. It can be good for engagement and it can be good for your numbers, but it don't do anything for you. In reality.
I think one of the kind of the solid points behind that whole thing is, you and I, we're from a different generation that we see a lot of people on social media from, that whole thing, bullying didn't really affect us like that. You say some words to me, like you just said, that doesn't bother me. If you come throwing, fists and throwing elbows, okay, then we got a problem. Yeah. But just throwing some insults, that doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, I lived through a 6th grade where I got suspended 10 times for fighting for defending myself. I went through a really rough time where I was really bullied extremely hard for 1 year in my entire life. It was at Autry Middle School right down the street from here now. I drove by there in the Lambo the other day. And it was really bad. It was relentless. I had a kid that had failed 3 times, should have been in 9th grade. I was in the 6th grade. He beat me up in front of the whole gym, gave me a big black eye. And I had to go home from school. It was so bad. My face was swollen. I've really been punched in my face a lot, and I've given out a lot of punches. You can't hurt me with words on social media. Nope. That means nothing to me. So I think you do have to get to a point where you can really move on from that stuff. And I think this is I tell you what, though, the bullying for kids today, because they don't grow up in the same environment that we grew up in, where the social media is the bullying, and then it's tied to real life, and it's relentless. You can't escape it either. It's 24/7. 24/7 where you go home, there's no escape from it if you're on social media as a kid. So it's stuff out there for kids, but it's definitely not the same as when we grew up.
The first time I put on my Oculus VR headset,
Yeah.
I jumped into one of those VR chat rooms, and like a group of people, they were like beating up and bullying an avatar, and I yelled like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And they yelled a lot of inappropriate things, like they were going to come after me. I was like, "What? What are you doing?" I just took the headset off. I wasn't going to deal with it.
Nerds.
Yeah, right.
Nerds. Now we're the bullies. Now it's us, J Chains.
Let's get them.
Now we're the bullies. I tell you what, get out of here, nerds. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So No More Chains here says, hurt people. And that's exactly the truth. So interesting story here. I'll just tell the story. The kid that, I've been beaten up pretty good in my life twice. Once it was by 3 cops in a jail cell. And another time it was by this kid in the 6th grade who should have been a 9th grader. So interesting story. So I go to work at McDonald's. I know it's like crypto meme, right? Worked at McDonald's when I was 15. So a few years after this had happened. And guess who worked there? The same kid that had given me that black eye. And so I got to know him. We got to actually be friends. And he tried to kill himself. He didn't show up to work one day, and he tried to kill himself with pills. And it was because he had such a hard home life. Like his life at home was absolutely horrible. And I got to know him a little bit. And when I told him, I was like, "You don't remember you like punched me in the face in the 6th grade?" And he was like, "Oh my gosh, that was you. I'm so sorry." He was so apologetic once he got to know me. And, the guy ended up, that was the last time I ever saw him, was the day he tried to kill himself. So I don't know what ever happened to him after that, but it just shows, remember, hurt people. And that's absolutely true on the internet, especially where people can hide. So these are important things to ask. Yeah. Your Pariah the Boneless was beat up by cop. It was 2 of them one held me by both arms, the other one punched me in the stomach, and then threw me on the ground, and then they kicked me. It was really the first time I was actually, or the only time I've ever actually really been beaten up. It's where you think you're going to die. You're passing out because of the pain, and it just keeps coming. It's really hard. I don't know if anybody's ever been through that, but it's really tough, especially when you're in jail. And I didn't even really do anything. I was only 19. But anyways, fiat still accounts for a majority of financial crime, says U.S. Treasury report. Back to me, your financial guru. Despite the many concerns of crypto being an instrument for crime, a newly published report by the U.S. Treasury Department says that fiat still accounts for the majority of financial crimes. Shocking, right? Absolutely shocking. Earlier this month, the National Money Laundering Risk Assessment by and through the U.S. Treasury Department released 3 yearly reports that went into deep discussions of money laundering. The findings by the Treasury mention virtual currencies in detail, noting that the number of users and the market capitalization of digital assets have increased significantly since the previous risk assessment in 2018. However, the Treasury reports revealed that fiat currency and traditional networks still account for more criminal flows than cryptocurrencies. And this was exactly what they were saying. This was exactly what they were saying to Elizabeth Warren the other day in that hearing. And I don't know if you heard, Jay Chase, if you heard me talk about the number that you were probably here the other day. What was it? The Mexican cartel number?
Yeah.
How much cash they have?
Like 500 million?
Billion.
Or 500 billion, yeah.
$500 billion. $500 billion.
That's a quarter
That's
of
almost the market cap of Bitcoin.
Right. It's a quarter of the
Entire crypto market. Yeah.
Crazy.
Right. Yeah. Oh, but crypto's for criminals only. I read a really interesting thing. Let me see if I can find it. This is more interesting than this. New York Times crypto guide. I found that here it is. The Latecomer's Guide to Crypto from this guy, Kevin Roos. This guy's kind of an idiot. I'm going to be honest with you. No offense, Kevin. You may be like a decent guy. Maybe watch your channel. But basically, like, how can you still be, he says here, let me see what he says. I've been writing about crypto for nearly a decade. It's over 10 years. So think about this. Since 2012, when I bought my first Bitcoin, this guy's been writing about Bitcoin. He says he describes himself as a crypto moderate. What? A period in which my own views have whipsawed between extreme skepticism and cautious optimism. How can you be writing about crypto for 10 years and have seen the growth of this to where today we're covering Goldman Sachs doing over-the-counter trading and I'm just a moderate on crypto? You watch the market cap go from, let's see what the market cap was in 2012. Let's see if we can find that out. Coin market.
Like nothing.
Cap history.
Probably a couple 100,000.
The earliest we can go to is April 28, 2013. The overall market cap was
What?
about $1.5 billion. About $1.5 billion. There were only 7 coins on coin market cap at that point, period. Only 7. So there were, let's see what that is. Not even that much, 75 million. Yeah, I get, because that's 75 million. So about $1.75 billion. You've watched this market cap go up 1,000 times?
Yeah.
Is that right? 1,000 times 1.5 billion?
To get to almost 2 trillion, yeah.
Yeah. 1,000 times. And you're a moderate. Chaz, literally never. You will never, ever, ever see me respond to clout chasers. That will never happen, just so you know. So I won't even say the name here. Never. The answer is literally never. The guy wants attention so bad he can't stand it. He will never get it from me, ever. Okay. All right. So when you look here at this and you see the market cap and it's $1.75 billion, and you look at what it is, or $1.57 billion, and you look at what it is now, growing 1,000x, and you still cannot. Is that 100x? Maybe it's 100x. 300x?
My math is not good right
I
now.
don't
It's
know.
Monday morning, man. Come on.
Look, if you can't type these numbers out on calculators, it's hard to figure out unless you're a genius, okay? Maybe it's 100x. Whatever it is, he's been here since 2012. He didn't miss the train. He was here. He saw it all. He's been writing about it for 10 years, and he's a crypto moderate. But look, I'll give this guy some credit. The article is not terribly bad. I just think, like, for this guy, like, it's really sad that you're that, like, low IQ, that you've watched this and you still are having to write for the New York Times because you're not a billionaire. Even though you've been here for 10 years, you never left. So take the old Laura Shin, the podcaster, the Laura Shin strategy, which is, you know what? I like being poor. So even though I could invest in this and make tons of money, I want to be unbiased. So I'm not going to ever invest in it. She owns no Bitcoin. That's all she talks about is Bitcoin. She doesn't own any. Why? Because she wants to be unbiased. That's a very poor career decision. Yeah, it is 1,000%. So
Yeah.
it is.
We were right.
I was right. So anyways, he goes on here and he explains a lot of stuff. He basically says crypto will be transformative. He says crypto could be destructive. So he kind of paints this other, kind of world where basically kind of like we let Facebook take over the social media landscape and the privacy landscape. Could crypto have some unintended consequences? Nobody thought that Facebook was going to single-handedly destroy privacy, and it did. Why? Because people didn't take it seriously enough. Christian Rangel, which your parents are so dumb they couldn't even spell your name right. You should stop using the IQ reference. You're not an IQ barometer. Well, I'm actually in Mensa there, sir. So if you actually want to go check the IQ, you can, you idiot. Yeah, so you are low IQ, and I will continue saying that. I can't believe the idiots that come to this chat sometimes. I really can.
We do love the Bit Squad.
We love the BitSquad. Well, that's because 95% of these people in here are doing a good job.
Yeah.
They're smart people. They're high IQ people.
But the bozos that come in, come on, man.
Yeah, so I think being a Mensa, I think I'm literally allowed to, which I don't flex that a lot because I think it's pretentious, but I will flex it on you. Your parents are idiots, that's what I'll tell you. What's it like to be a mistake? Wrangle that.
There you go.
All right.
Get them.
But the main thing I wanted to show in this is we were talking about last week how many people own crypto. And I told you that many people were saying it was 11%, and I was telling you that it was in between 20 and 30%. Here's the actual number. This was a Morning Consult survey. 20% of American adults own crypto. 1 out of 5. 36% of millennials own crypto. So I've given you a 30% number. It's 36%. 36% of millennials own crypto. And I would say that probably most likely, most people watching this chat are probably in that millennial. I told you I'm the bully now. You can blame that guy in the 6th grade. 36% of you guys, most of you guys are probably millennials. You probably fit into that category. So, all right, let's move on here. I got no patience for people that bully me. That's what I don't have patience for. I'll tell you that. You come into my own chat and you say some dumb stuff, I'm going to call you out for it. I'm sorry. That's not bullying. That's me responding to some low IQ idiot that comes in the chat and flexes stuff that he doesn't even know. That's low IQ. All right, let's move on.
Let's go.
Yuga Labs acquisition of MeBits. Now, I bought a MeBit. Where? I don't know how to show it on here.
We need to.
We have it in my office. We have it in the background. What big things are coming for Sologenic, Ben? I don't know. I think we may be doing. I'll just go ahead and say it, guys. We have XRP NFTs coming.
Let's go.
There's your announcement. We have XRP NFTs coming, and they're going to have the most utility of any XRP NFT you've ever seen. And they are going to crush it. They're going to sell out for sure. I'm going to go ahead and call that now, because what you're getting with these NFTs, it's going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait. It's so exciting. What I'm just going to say is this. Would you like to come to the world's biggest Ripple party? Would you like to come to that?
Are you asking me?
Sure.
Of course. Of course I would.
Vincent Sky says, Crypto Face called me out once. I was humbled. Well, I'm sure if Crypto Face did it, he uses much more colorful language than I do.
Pencil neck.
Pencil necks. Okay. Yuga Labs acquisition of MeBits, NFT, IP, reopen talks, and market manipulation. And if you want to learn more about these XRP NFTs, most likely May. We don't have exact date for that yet, but we'll go and start releasing stuff soon. Make sure, smash that like button and throw the X up. Let's see where that XRP army is. Haley, this guy says I'm over 65. Well, welcome over 65 crowd. We love our over 65 crowd as well. We love everybody here at the channel that loves us. If you don't like us, you hate us because you hate us, I guess. There are concerns about market manipulation in the recent Yuga Labs acquisition of MeBits and CryptoPunk IP. We did buy a MeBits. We, of course, already own a CryptoPunk. Concern stems from an observation that between March 5th and March 11th, several addresses purchased a total of 150. Excuse me. I had to burp, but I didn't burp. I held it in. Did you hear it?
I heard it.
You did?
It's funny. I
was really trying to make that happen.
It's the bang. I just had one too.
Yeah. The new flavor today. New flavor. Raging Raspberry Hibiscus. It's okay. It's not the best. It's not horrible, though. I'd drink another one.
Is it a carbonated one or a flat one?
Yeah. It's kind of in between. It's a little carbonated, but it's kind of flat. I don't like the flat ones.
Yeah.
All right. Since its acquisition, the floor price has over doubled for 6 ETH. I think that's what we spent on ours, about 6 ETH. According to NFT Ethics on Twitter, this is such a funny account. Most of the addresses that purchased NFTs during this period belong to insiders. So we've got, let's see, basically people that knew about this deal were buying into the NFTs. So, it is what it is. Over time, this will level out. I don't think it's a huge deal, really, to be honest with you. There's a big difference, in my opinion. There's a big difference between OpenSea and NFT platform manipulating their platform to insider trade, and people that knew that this deal was going on buying NFTs. I mean, to me, it's not that, it's whatever. But I do think, FYI, Ben can bench press 300 pounds. We're going to put the video on my Instagram today.
I love it.
I said the F word in the video after I did it. I cuss a little bit.
Can we get an editor just to bleep it out?
Yeah, we're going to bleep it out. So, I don't like to. It was pretty bad. I was pumped when I did it.
I mean, it should be.
It was a few months ago.
That's big weight, though.
Yeah, 300. I think it's actually 305. It was. But anyways. All right. Still trying to get up to 315. We're not there yet. ApeCoin tokenomics raises centralization questions. And maybe it's unfair. Maybe it's hypocritical of me to say it bothers me more when OpenSea does it. It bothers me more because it is the platform itself. I mean, I guess you're saying like how many people knew about this deal? I don't know. I can tell you this. I will tell you this. This is what I'll say about it. If, let's say we were doing something with one of our NFT projects and we caught some of our employees doing the same thing that the Yuga Labs employees did, we would fire them. we actually have a zero tolerance policy for that here. So I'll say as the leader of an organization or a business, I would not put up with this in my company. So maybe I'm being a little hypocritical. Maybe I should be just as hard on them as I am on OpenSea. So I just tend to like Yuga Labs. So I guess I have a little more, tolerance for people that I don't hate. So I certainly hate OpenSea, and they're going to regret a lot of stuff they've done. That's what I'll tell you. Last week they announced ApeCoin. Then 24 hours, I had a volume of over 9.2 billion. There are already various controversies. Is this true decentralization or is it disguised? What do you think about it? Are you going to buy ApeCoin? Do you own ApeCoin now?
I do not. No, I'm waiting for if I decide to buy it. Yeah, like $4. Like I'm not buying anything until it's down there.
Yeah. I wish we wouldn't have sold ours.
Justin Williams, come on, man.
Justin, come on. He did what he thought was the right thing at the time, which I'm not going to, I trust Justin, so what he does is what it is. But
no shame in the game of pulling profits, man.
Bored Apes creator to launch new Metaverse, Other Side. Wow, look at this. Coming in April. That's it. That's the whole story. Teaser video, Mutant Ape Yacht Club newly acquired, Crypto Punks. Okay, interesting. And then here you can see this tweet. See you on the other side in April, powered by ApeCoin. So they got their own metaverse that they're going to be doing. So we'll see what happens there. I guess we can have one in there. Oh, here he is, Journey Crypto, the ApeCoin billionaire. He's not really a billionaire. Maybe he is. I don't know. So good for Tony. I cannot believe he has 100 of them things, man. I've done crypto wrong, man. I tell you, all these other crypto YouTubers have way more money than we do.
I don't think you've done it wrong.
Way more money than we've done. Way more.
Yeah, but look at this empire you're building.
I know it's true. We're not just doing crypto. We got stuff. We're bringing on a whole sports department here. So.
Yeah. I would say you've done it better than anyone else.
Well, thanks. Well, you know what it is? We think more long term than everybody else does because we're not just looking at crypto. I eventually want to buy the Falcons, so I'm thinking way more long term than a few years. What I could do. There was a wallet that had 107 Bored Apes. That's unbelievable. Goldman Sachs announces Milestone with first over-the-counter crypto trade with Galaxy Digital. Of course, that's Mike Novogratz. That's his company. It's close to announcing that it is the first major U.S. bank to trade an over-the-counter crypto transaction. It's the first major U.S. bank to do this? I missed that part of this story. I did not see that. Goldman traded a Bitcoin-linked instrument called a non-deliverable option with crypto merchant bank or Galaxy Digital, according to two firms. Move is seen as a notable step in the development of crypto markets for institutional investors, in part because of the nature of OTC trades. This trade represents the first step the banks have taken to offer direct, customizable exposures to the crypto market on behalf of their clients. Let's see here if there's anything else in here. Probably not. Let's see. There's the quote. At a high level, it's because of the implication of the risk banks are taking on. Hedge funds have been seeking derivative exposure to Bitcoin. Next big step we're envisioning is the development of options markets. A lot of big stuff coming here. But what I would say is, so I had a pretty interesting conversation the other day with someone he's a tech guy, definitely a tech guy. He's into crypto a little bit. And I was explaining stablecoins. He didn't know what stablecoins were. I've actually had this conversation with two different people over the last week, trying to explain what stablecoins are and why they're always worth $1, and trying to get them to understand that you can stake those and make 8%. Like, it blows their mind. Like, they can't comprehend it. Like, wait. It's money that it doesn't change, and I get 8% interest a year on it. One of the guys was like, well, I'll never have to work again. I'll just open up an account and put the money in there, and then I'll just watch it grow. And it really, like, this is why we're going to see that stable coin regulation coming soon. I think that's what we're going to see at the end of this 6 months. I certainly believe that when this 6 months is over and kind of this executive order has played itself out, and we have all these different regulatory bodies in the United States government that are going to be taking part in regulation and figuring out what's going to regulate what. I think that's the big thing that's going to come out of that, is we are going to see somehow the crushing of the stablecoin staking. It's just too easy guaranteed money, you know?
Well, people are so used to their less than 0.25%,
0.1%.
0.1%. It's insane.
Or your treasury bond that's like 1%. Something like that. Okay. All right, let's move on here. World's first decentralized bank in the metaverse. How about what do you think about this?
I mean, I'd go bank there.
Wow, look at this futuristic metaverse city.
Why don't
Where
they
are you
have fly-
living?
why don't they-
Which one of these buildings are you going to be living in?
The penthouse or the tallest one in the way back?
Oh, so I'm going to be living in this sphere.
Actually, I want to live in the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, I'm going to live in the moon around the pyramid. Pretty cool. World's first decentralized bank in the metaverse. Traditional banks that have created outposts in the metaverse have a new compelling competitor. These ads. JP Morgan and HSBC have launched sites in the metaverse, but they are traditional banks that come with all the traditional bank problems. There is a decentralized bank that is now entered the metaverse. This crypto-based model will take on these Goliaths with simple, dependable digital banking procedures. MetaBank DeFi has announced it has entered the fray. The photorealistic metaverse crypto project says the world's first decentralized 360 solution bank in the metaverse. The mission is to implement decentralized banking and to help users truly grasp the concepts of visualization by introducing them to the metaverse, putting the power in the hands of those who can determine their own terms financially. What are we, 7?
Yeah.
Are we
of course.
7, Justin?
We both just laughed. Yes.
I thought it said man boob.
That's exactly how I read it too.
May Maboob. I'm sorry. May Maboob is probably a seriously nice person. And, I'm sorry that we're 7 here. I'm sorry, May. May you forgive us.
Please.
May you forgive us. Okay. High IQ. Okay. They say some of the smartest. Okay. MetaBank DeFi has also revealed that its Web 3.0 plans include more than just a bank. They say they will create a cross-platform mixed reality metaverse district, be a virtual bank, healthcare, gaming, casinos, virtual NFT marketplace. I tell you, the casino stuff is so interesting in the metaverse. What's going to be legal? What's going to be allowed? How are different laws and regulations going to apply here? It's just really, really, really interesting. Interesting things around this, because that's something we talked about for Sandbox, was whether or not we could do a casino. And they actually told us no. They said you couldn't do a casino. But we're doing something pretty similar that is allowed. That is very interesting, that I would love to tell you about, but I'm going to keep some things. I probably have somebody said high IQ, lowbrow humor. That's Sexy Colin Guy. Will you make Sexy Colin Guy an admin? I like him.
Sure. Let me ask you a question about something you just said about the laws and the metaverse. One thing that Brian and I have talked about, and we're going to come out with a whole documentary series about the pros and the cons, the light and the dark of the metaverse, how it's going to work. Child labor laws, play to earn gaming.
Yeah.
What's to stop someone from, hey, you run a school, the computer lab, hey guys, come on in, play some video games. It's just, have fun, play some video games, but someone's making money off of that.
Yeah.
Is that considered work?
Well, we have Minecraft builders who may be 14. I don't know. I don't know how old they are. I'm not in charge of hiring our builders, but that's interesting too, because some of the best people at building in these worlds are kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. I don't know. We always make the joke that they're probably 14, but I mean, I don't know if they are or not. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I have no clue. But I definitely think that that's an interesting question. I wonder what the labor laws are for 1099 employees versus W-2 employees. And I also wonder what they are internationally. If it's a 15-year-old kid from India, is that different than a 15-year-old kid from the United States? Am I under their, we actually have a foreign company that we have in our list of companies that this is actually up under, so I don't guess it matters. But is there a difference between United States labor laws and Indian labor laws, and who applies? Is it where the person's working from, or I don't know. This is why I'm not in charge of all this.
Right.
So,
Who did you want me to make a man?
Original Vegas says Ben hires children. I haven't hired a single person. I don't know. Go to Sexy Colin guy. He's up there with the pink. See him right there? Oh, yeah, I like him. He's been here the last several days. We're good. We need more admins. So I keep meaning to make a debate crypto one. I'm going to make him one. So no, we make the joke that they're kids. They're probably not kids. I know that our main builder, the guy who's built almost all our stuff, is not. He's definitely a full adult. So, okay, all right, let's move on here. Hold on. I think the Labor Department's calling. Ethereum Vitalik Buterin comes with new sharding proposal. What is EIP 4844? This is interesting. New layer to Ethereum coming. We got a new wrinkle coming in. Sharding, the existence of interconnected sub-blockchains instead of a single one, is among the most eccentric novelties of the upcoming proof-of-stake network. Ethereum's founder, Vitalik Buterin, proposed yet another scenario what that mechanism might look like. By the way, did you see this post over the weekend? Tom Brady commented on it. Basically, Vitalik said, I don't even know who Tom Brady is.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I didn't even see that's why he says, you may not know me. Anyone else thinks he looks like if Tom Brady did meth?
Dude, I loved all of these comments, man. I was laughing looking at him earlier.
The Prince of Crypto kind of looks like Tom Brady after 2 years of retirement and no weightlifting. Bro looks like a dystopian Tom Brady. Here's this one. Tom Brady with the reverse Captain America super soldier serum. And there was another one. There was another one in here I thought where it said, this is the guy that Tom Brady keeps in the basement that he feeds off of or something like that. Yeah. And so that's why I made this tweet. And I said, hey, Tom, you may not know me, but you single-handedly broke my football team. Just wanted to let you know I do not hate you. And well, I may go without saying, I also do not believe Vitalik is in your basement.
Nice.
But now that post isn't up there. I don't know. That's weird. But anyways, he's taken on Twitter to share the idea of proto-dank sharding. Wow. A scenario of data verification focused on blob-carrying transactions that cannot be executed on the EVM. The Ethereum's founder proposes to auto-delete blob data every 30 days to prevent the network from too large requirements for data and memory storage. So basically, the long and the short of it is that this is going to be a way that they're going to be able to delete data, I guess, like data remnants off of the network to make it faster. This doesn't seem to be nearly as big as the other EIPs that we've looked at. This won't dramatically affect things, but as they move towards sharding, it will certainly help. Nearly $6 billion in Ethereum burn as Ethereum 2.0 edges closer. I think Ethereum's the play right now. Did a video yesterday where I talked about where I would put $1,000 right now, and I said put half of it in ETH. That would be the move because right now Ethereum is bubbling up. You can feel it. If this market is going to take off, we're going to see Ethereum run first. I do believe that.
Well, I think we have, right? And when you were doing Market Watch earlier, when you showed the top, whatever, like Bitcoin, I don't know, it's up maybe 4% in the week, but ETH's up like 15% in the week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, look, guys, they're calling it like the triple halving, right? Because you're looking at the inflation rate of Ethereum getting cut into thirds. Like it's not like a halving, it's going to be a thirding, if you will, because there's part of this, part of the merge is going to crush the inflation rate of Ethereum. It's going from like 4.3% to like 0.4%. So I mean that's even smaller than that in all reality. So I definitely think that when you're looking right now, and by the way, I had some people saying like, okay, well, why didn't you put ADA on that list? Whatever. Look, I certainly could have put Cardano on that list. Cardano will certainly be in the larger portfolio. It's in our portfolio. When we do a $10,000, what we would do at $10,000 in a portfolio, Cardano is definitely going to be on that list. It's just right now with the XRP lawsuit stuff going on, that's bubbling. And once that is over, price explosion is coming for XRP. There's no question about it. So because of that, the risk versus reward when it comes to XRP right now is very, very, very high. The reward, the ratio is in proportion correctly so that you're going to get a big reward. Cardano, it's still going to go up. It's going to move. It's going to be a competitor with Ethereum in the future, but it doesn't have that one thing kind of bubbling right now. I mean, it does have DeFi, so you can make an argument. I'm just taking XRP right now. There have been other times when I would have taken ADA right now I'm taking XRP. So, Cardano right there on that list. And, you could certainly, it'd be boring if I was just put Ethereum, XRP, and Cardano. You got to add some wrinkles in there. So, all right, traders bet on Ether staking after ETH 2.0 upgrade. That's something we kind of already talked about. Speaking of Cardano, as momentum returns, Cardano and Ripple targeting $1. And these are two projects that I had believed we would see an upside of $10 to $12 for, and we have not seen that yet, but still think it could be in the cards at some point. Let's see. I bought Charlie Lee's bag. So you make him an admin too. I like him too. As a former coder, I looked at a lot of blockchain code, and ETH is crappy code. There are lots of other blockchains that are far superior facts. No question there. I agree with you 100%. But it's got the largest pool of developers. It's the first mover. It's got the most apps, the most money in TVL. It's got the most everything. Just having a superior code. Let me ask you this question. Does McDonald's have the number one hamburger out there?
No.
If I said, what place do you want to go eat a hamburger at? What percentage of people are going to say McDonald's? Very low percentage. Very, very low percentage. And yet they're the number one hamburger seller in the world. So it's not always about who makes the best, who has the best. It's about who's using it the most. And when it comes to Ethereum, that's kind of how I see it. So,
did you know McDonald's is actually not in the business? Well, they are in the business of selling cheeseburgers and whatnot, but they're actually.
Oh, you must have watched that movie.
I've known it for a while. Real estate.
Yeah.
That's their thing.
That's true. I was so disappointed in that Ray Kroc. I hate when those, I don't know. I was watching it with my wife. Very disappointed when he starts cheating on his wife and all that stuff. That's bad, man. I wish he could have, his wife was there when they were in these really hard times, and then things get good and he leaves. I'm very disappointed to see that part of that story. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I'm very loyal. I'm a very loyal person. And I hate when people are not loyal. That drives me insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sideline investors appear to be re-entering the market to buy Cardano and Ripple. Both ADA and XRP have been getting traction in tandem. There's a typo with the rest of the market lately, each surging by more than 10%. From a technical perspective, Cardano has broken through the middle of a trend line. It must hold the middle here. Ripple also looks ready to break out. So from a technical perspective, they both look pretty good right now. A daily candlestick below 74 cents could invalidate a bullish thesis, but guess where it's at? 81 cents. Hoskinson promises Solana-like performance for Cardano. Interesting. This year, all these updates are coming that are massively improving the scalability and expressiveness of the system. You're seeing from Solana and others. He said, referring to the Basho scaling phase of the Cardano project, he said, this year, all these updates are coming that are massively improving the scalability and expressiveness of the system, so you'll get the same type of performance you're seeing from systems like Solana and so forth, or at least in the same orders of magnitude. So we'll see what happens there. You need things like Mithril, which is a side chain, yada, yada, yada. A hard fork in June will increase the TVL. That's the Vassal hard fork. Talked pretty extensively about that. I want to know from you guys right now. I want to know, are we going to see which one of these has the most potential? Can you put up a poll?
Yep.
Let's put up a poll. I want to know, are you ADA gang or are you XRP Army? That's what I want to know. I want to see in the chat who we got more of here. We've never done this before. We've never put these two communities. These people come in my chat and make stupid comments. XRP or ADA? What are you choosing right now?
There you go.
Let's see what they're saying. All right, let me move on to quick hitters. Ethereum Classic, 31% rally. You can show the screen here. Five Guys fries are fire. I do agree with that. I love Five Guys. That's the best burger place.
You got to get the Cajun or don't get them at all.
You know what I love to do? I like to get the malt vinegar. I like to put malt vinegar on the fries. They have that there. I'm a big vinegar guy.
That's like what the British people do or whatever for the fish and
Don't
chips.
you ever call me British.
But that's what they do with the fish and chips, man. You got to drop the malt vinegar.
I got to drop it, dude.
I'm sorry.
I'll never be able to eat it again. All right, Honduras reportedly to officially recognize Bitcoin as legal tender in the coming days, so following suit with El Salvador. Binance Smart Chain tops all-time high NFT monthly sales volume. I don't know much about NFTs on BSC, to be honest with you. 3.7 trillion SHIB lands in Whale's wallet after massive purchase. We know a lot of whales have SHIB. Why? I do not know. Could not tell you if my life depended on it. Lead Finance Protocol loses 600,000 in a DeFi exploit. Chinese internet giants remove NFT platforms fearing government crackdown. WeChat removed several accounts for digital collectible platforms. We do know that basically China is trying to do their own NFT platform that is not blockchain. So it's not NFTs. There are a bunch of idiots over there, people that run that country. Crypto users in Africa grew by 2,500%. Believe that, 100%. 2,500%, 100% of the time. What's the chat? 52% XRP. Look at this. Look how close this is. 51% XRP, 49% Cardano. Wow. I don't acknowledge my employees.
I was literally about to hop in and say something.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead.
Dude, you're so wrong with that, whoever you are. Ben is probably I'm not even going to, no, we're not going there. You're amazing. You're amazing as a boss, as a friend, as a father, as a husband. You're just amazing, man.
I appreciate you.
People like that are idiots.
People, man. Some of these people in here, they come in, you know the biggest problem is so many times people think they know what they're talking about, and they literally have no idea. They would be better just not to open their mouth. My descendants were British. That is true. Dr. Crypto says my descendants were British. It is true. I do come from pretty strict British bloodlines, which I would say is the number one thing I'm ashamed of in my life. But also, I mean, what other place would I want to be from? I don't know. I mean, they're all Australia's all British people too, right? Not where they sent their debtors.
I think so.
So I don't know. All right, win Brit Boy Crypto. Never, mate. Never. Cheers. Who says cheers? You're not allowed to say. There are two things you're not allowed to say in this office: cheers or cool beans. Talking to you, Aaron.
You can't say mate either.
Can't say what?
Mate.
Mate?
Like, yeah, can you get that? Can you give me that thumbnail? Sure, mate. No.
Nobody says that here.
That's why he said we can't use.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone say that. I've never heard anyone say mate in this chat. All right, let's go. Let's hit Q&A.
There's none.
There is none.
You answered everything.
I answered everything. They called you a brown nose.
Me?
Yeah, because you said I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks,
You could
bud.
be from Georgia? From the country, Georgia? I am from Georgia, dang it. I'm here in the South. It's a very sad story. We had a crypto influencer, or a crypto expert guru guy, someone I'd never heard of. I don't know who he is. He got murdered in New York City
Oh my gosh.
for a Rolex. So guys, if you're making a lot of money out there in your crypto gains, you got to be careful where you're flexing at. Yeah. New York City, not the place probably to flex, to be honest with you. Here in the South, where we got the Second Amendment, I'll flex all dang one. BitBoy out.